Christopher Katongo. I didn't expect the grey on the...
I'm old.
Chirishat, how old are you, Chris Katongo?
I'm turning 40, man.
Wow.
In August.
Wow.
Mm.
Fine career you had. Fine career you had. Let's talk. Chris Katongo. Did you ever think you were going to turn out to be, one, a footballer, two, the guy that lifts the Africa Cup for Zambia for the first time? And yeah, that's the biggest history so far in the history of Zambian football.
Yeah, for sure. I had a dream. I had a vision. I wanted to become somebody. You know, for sure, not a dream of maybe lifting the Africa Cup, but a dream of becoming somebody, becoming one of the people that to be reckoned with. You know, I wanted to be known. I wanted, you know, to have something to talk about. You know, and
did that mean going to join Zambia Army and being a mushirika?
Mushirika, I didn't expect that I can be a soldier. I didn't want even to be a soldier. And I remember that time when Green Buffaloes took me from Karush Modern Stars. They say they want to employ me. I said, no, I want to play football. Me, I just want to play football.
I don't want to
play
with guns.
To play with the guns and what. But they convinced me, you know, career can finish, you know, 1 or 2, 3 things. I said, okay. The main objective was, if I join the army, I can't be a professional footballer. I can't go outside and play. So those are the things that I didn't want, because I wanted to go abroad. And I was telling them, no, me, I want to go abroad. Yeah, Babu soldier, you know, it's
go fireman.
But I was totally convinced, and I'm still a soldier now, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's good. Oh, by the way, you let's just talk from the beginning. Born in Mufurila, like many greats of Zambian football, Kalu, Charles Msonda, Joe Walia. I mean, you're part of that list. Just tell me your young years, being born in Mufurila and how football started.
Okay, before I talk about myself, you talk about the great people that this country has produced, the great players. Even when you talk about you, Kachitalu, you know, the Musondas, yes, the Musondas, the Kalushas, the Johnstone Warriors, the Warriors, you know, just to mention a few, you know, God gave too much talent to the people, very great players, and I was asking myself, why me to go and lift the Africa Cup? Because I was not the greatest. You know, when I speak like this, people will start quarreling. I was not the greatest, but that story never aside. I was born in Mufurira, Butondo Township. We were 13 in the family.
Big family?
Yeah, it was big family. You know, my dad, he was a miner. My mom, she was just a housewife. We were, I was number 7 from 13 of the family. 6 have died. I'm second. Now we are 8. Felix is my brother before me, and then it's my firstborn, who's Lewis Katongo. He's still alive. I did my primary school for sure at Butondo Primary School. I did my secondary school at Kantanshi Secondary School, my grade 10. Then I was transferred to Butondo Secondary School in Term 2, because Butondo Secondary School qualified to play in Coca-Cola Cup. You know, those times there was Coca-Cola inter-schools competition, Coca-Cola Cup, inter-schools competition, whereby all provinces you meet. Those time, not this time. So I was transferred. Then I went to finish my grade 12 in Kalushi Secondary School, where Kalushi took me from Butondo Western Tigers, where I was playing as an amateur. And I'm among one players who jumped playing from amateur straight to Premier League. Kalushi Modern Stars was in Premier League. And there was great players there, I find, you know. Yeah, that's my a little bit background of where I was born.
Tell me something. When you get to Kalushi Modern Stars, now your dream of actually playing football is actually taking
started. Yeah.
But I want to ask you this. You grew up in a generation where the mines were not doing as well as they were doing in the 70s and 80s.
Yes.
And I'm sure it didn't make a lot of sense for someone to say, going to invest in football. You'd see a lot of footballers who were suffering because the only thing they knew was football,
yes,
or mining.
It was only two things there. It's either you were a footballer, but all the footballers were also employed as mine. They were miners also too. You know, that's why there was Butondo Western Tigers, it was mine sponsors team, and there was Mighty Mufulira Wanderers, mine sponsors team. And you know, these two teams almost played continental game. That's why they make one team. Mufulira Wanderers now, it was just only team to play continental. And to Butondo, where we grew up, it was now the amateur, maybe Division 1 and what. That's where we started growing up. And you know, Copper Belt, we grew up doing sports. There was a lot of sports. Every weekend there was a lot of sports. This is what we grew up. And that's why there was, if you look in Lusaka, most sportsmen and women who have come to Lusaka is from the Copper Belt. They grew up doing those sports, you know, and now the miners, it's finished. No one is sponsoring. You see now in Changa.
Was it hard to, and look, I don't know whether your family was an exception to this. It must have been hard when the mines were sold, dad miner, the housewife, for a mother. Then you've got a household of 13. That's like 15 mouths to feed.
I'm telling you, you know, even you have your sisters, have got siblings. They get married, they divorce. You know,
they come back home.
Yeah, we were staying with Abepwa, and that's where I discovered that I'm a leader. I think I was born a leader. You know, sometimes leader, you know, the leader can be born, and leader, you can learn to be a leader. But I remember I advised my dad, you know, you know what happens. So I advised my dad to go and buy those plates, you know. You know.
Yeah.
And it was a good idea for me, and the dad was saying, yeah, it's a good idea. So that when Ishima is ready, we want Bikira Pakavadiapa, you know, there's no cry of that. So from that moment, when I lifted Africa Cup, I started realizing still I was born a leader, because I want to lead and I want things to be moving in the way that everybody is equal.
Tell me, playing professional football in Zambia at the time for Kalushi Modern Stars and being a schoolboy, you were a celebrity at a young age, Chris?
It was hard, and yeah, for sure I was a celebrity. You know, when I'll go to school, we're supposed to knock off at 15 hours. There is a prep time at 14 hours. So they have an excuse for me that the headmaster knows, all the teachers knows, all the students knows, all the prefect knows. When it comes to prepping time,
it's football time.
It's football time for me. So I'll just knock off at, you know, 1 o'clock, that break time before you go to play for 14 hours. I'll knock off, I'll change, eat, I'll go to the ground. Maybe it's 14 hours training or 14:30 training. So I was a little bit a celebrity, but it was a little bit hard still. I find Mwera Mpeta, international player at that time. When Zambia perished, he was among there. He was being dropped. There was Gibin Basela. You know, there is Kasweka, there is Muziamba. I find very good players, top level players who are playing for Kalush. And I was just a grade 11, you know, schoolboy. Yes, schoolboy. But I enjoyed, and it was a good experience, and I think it makes me to grow.
Okay, tell me something. You are married to Yvonne Katongo.
Yeah.
Where did you meet? Because I saw a picture. Okay, tell me, where did you meet?
Yeah, I know that picture is just my classmate. I know the one you saw it. Yeah, but definitely when I was in Kalurushi in grade 11, I met my wife, who's my wife now. She was Yvonne Lumbwe. She was doing grade 9 that time.
Oh, in Kalurushi? In
Kalurushi. That's where we met together. And, you know, we started, you know, like these boys, by each other, no. And I was serious about her because I see something like she's a mother, she can look after the house, and I say, okay.
But Bola, was she excited that this guy could be a superstar, a national hero at the time?
At the time,
What did you need to tell her?
I don't need, you know, to say what, because the father was against to date a footballer, because they say, I remember when I took the salam, you know, and you know, proposing for the engagement, what. The father was against. What. And then suddenly she got pregnant for me, and I was training as a soldier. That was in November, December. I was training to the soldier, and then January I came. You know, panga ndaga yumwananga kwa tefumo. I can look after our property. So I just came. I picked it up. I was not even ready to start staying together, and it happened suddenly. That's how my firstborn even was born. I just pick it up. I tell, you know, Banabukombe, arrange things for her, come to Lusaka. They came to Lusaka. This is how we started staying together until I officially married her in 2008. That time I was playing in Germany.
Hey, but
the dad was...
You're a faithful man. Because, you know, let me be very honest with you. I'm telling you.
No, but
just damage and
no. Me, I think I was focusing more on football. As I said on Facebook, I wanted to be somebody, and I didn't want these things to distract me. I was not a beer drinker. I was not a humanizer. I was just focusing on football, and because I wanted to be somebody. And this is the things which makes me who I am today, because I knew I didn't want the distraction things, you know. Guys, you know, I didn't want that one. It's only training and football. That's why I achieved what I've achieved. Is just to live. In fact, you say even today, that's when you see me drinking a bottle of beer. You know, I'm an ambassador for car, so I'm drinking to the people because I've done it.
No,
you know, you know, so those are the differences.
So, young man enjoying life at Kalushi Modern Stars, playing football with those players where you want to go. The move to Green Buffaloes, I'm curious, how did it happen? Because, like you earlier stated, you didn't want to become a soldier.
Yeah, you know, my career has got too much history in it, especially that people can see the vision in me. People can see what I'm going to achieve. You know, what happened was, when I was to Kalushi Modern Stars, the team was relegated into Division 1. And when the team relegated to Division 1, Gaston Mutobo, the coach for Power Dynamos that time, that is in 1999, he was the coach for Power Dynamos, and we play Power Dynamos. You know, I played very well that time, but I didn't even score. He took me to Power, and Power was playing Continental. They were number 2, I think, from Nkana. They were playing Continental games. So Gaston Mutobo, he took me there. I started staying there for 2 weeks. I was training for Power. You know, maybe Nitsanga, the Jones Mwewas, you know, great players Power had. So when they took me there, the Kalushi, you know, officials, they didn't finalize things. They said no.
With Power Dynamo.
With Power Dynamo, they said no. That boy is doing grade 12, and the father has already, you know, school, because my dad wanted just me to finish school. That's what my dad wanted. So he said, no, Chris is not for sale. He has to finish school in Kalushi. But Power said, no, he can start going to Kalushi. We can pick him up. He goes to the Kalushi, to school. He comes here. He trains with the team. The same thing that we are doing. My officials said no. So I came back to Kalushi. That's why I knew Gaston Mutobo, because he's the one who wanted. So in Division 1, the Kalushi, we bring it back in Premier. January, Gaston Mutobo came to pick me up. As soon as I just finished my grade 12, Gaston Mutobo picked me up. Now Gaston was being appointed to Green Buffaloes. Peter Kaumba was laid off on unpaid leave. Gaston Mutobo was in charge now, Power. The minute he was in charge, he came back to Kalushi.
GBFC rather.
GBFC rather, sorry. He picked me up.
Because he left, he took you where he was going.
Yeah. So he came to my house, give me the transport money, and Lupia, Alfred Lupia was the coach for Kalushi that time. He was also laid off to go to DAP United. DAP United, and in the Division 1 we had Jerry Koshinde, who was the coach in Division 1. They took me there. I went to Green Buffaloes, and Gaston Tobo was saying things which has happened now. You know, he was like visualizing what he was saying. You know, his English and his Bemba language. I was saying.
What was he saying?
Yeah, nachimona mwaite yo. Watch mani webo star. Watch ite anibola mwaite. Watch kwata maka. Watch kwata ni speedy. You know, this is how you say. You know, Congolese language.
Yeah.
And he saw my vision. That's why he took me to Green Buffaloes straight away in the starting
so
lineup.
it's did you have an opportunity to say Apostle? But Shirafoyo Kuba Soja.
I explained to him, but he was encouraging me that soldier will make you more a man. Being a soldier will make you more of discipline. He was encouraging me to get employed, but I was refusing when it comes to the officials. They come, no, we'll give you the number and what, because I was explaining I want to go professional.
I want to play football.
Not to be a soldier. Until they convinced me to be a soldier, and I think being a soldier, more of discipline, it helps me to be.
What happened to you when you became a soldier? Tell me about military training. I'll tell you what I've heard as a civilian. I've heard of like someone was telling me, Tate, nafaka nsima mtumba na beans yokupa.
No, but it's not.
What does it take to be a soldier?
It's hard. It's not an easy. Especially just a general soldier, it's not easy. You know, training 6 months. You know, it's to be a soldier. It's do or die. It's about death. It's about, you know.
You stop fearing death.
You have to, because you need to be trained. You know, and the training itself, it's very hard training, but after you get used, it's just normal. It becomes normal to everybody. And I didn't expect that I can enjoy DVD training, because the first week it was hard.
Did you feel like I
wanted
do this anymore?
Yes, I wanted to leave
go
the camp.
home.
Yes, I said, no, me, I'm a football player. I was speaking to the instructors. Ine ndiwa bola ine. No bana isa mkuchitenshi. Katina kuise chifuti chinka na chok kuya mkuipa wana nile. Depo ya bola. And they were laughing at me. Even they give me punishment to say that. Until I stopped, I just seeing things now is normal. You know, and I remember when we came back from the training, they just cut it because the league will start. So it was February we came back. February, January,
for
March.
Pre-season.
Yes, there was no pre-season for us. I remember that time there was no pre-season for us. It was late. The FAS said the games will start in February, and the same February we came back. Then Peter Kaumba asked to start, you know, putting things for football inside, and it was hard. Every time we play the game, we'll be 2-0 down, and second half we'll use that energy. And we were number 2, always number 2 on the table. We were playing Continental, but we didn't win.
Were you fitter than an average civilian?
Yeah. We are not even getting tired. I remember Zamushu, they scored us 2-0 at Independence Stadium. We had 2-0 down, and second half, we were on top of them. We scored 3-2. We beat them.
Endurance.
So, endurance, it was there. So the only thing which was not there is just more of a flair of football. You know, because to the training, we were not doing things for football. It's only physical, in the classroom, the drills, the warfare, you know, how to handle the guns, how to fight in the battle, you know, so it was hard.
I want to ask you this. A lot of modern day players, and you belong to the so-called modern day generation. Back in the day, there was a lot of physical work, amatanka, road runs, and whatnot, as normal football training. But now, when you talk about modern football, they actually say no.
They have started refusing,
you're not supposed to do. What is your own personal opinion about those training tactics in the 90s? Because I know you tested them.
Yeah, for sure. You know, people. If you see coaches who never, you know, played in Europe, those are the ones that, you know, they were relying on just the road run, tanka, and those manis. Even today, those who have done so much things, you know, manis, and people who have the coaching course in Europe, they will change the tactics. You know, there was those coaches that they have never been to Europe. They never been, maybe they don't have that license of the European mentality. That's why they were if Malodra, if Mashan. But as the time moves up, as the time moves on, you know, you see coaches who have been coached by Brazil, coaches who have been playing in Europe, and then the generation start to change. No, if you don't physical, and things have started changing. You know, people to take players even today players will refuse because they're gonna Google that these things is not in the syllabus.
It's not in the syllabus. Tell me something. So you get to Green Buffaloes and you do quite well generally. Of course, worked under Peter Kaumba, Apostle Gaston Mutobo.
Yes, George Rwandamina
George
was
Rwandamina.
To
You know what I don't understand up to this day? Because I saw a lot of battles in continental club football. How on earth did that Green Buffaloes team not win the league?
The generation for Peter Kaumba plus George Rwandamina, we could have won the league. I think the main reason that we could have not won the league is to give us time to play the schedule games. I remember in 2002, we were number 2, Zanaco was number 1, and it was just 1 point against us, and we had, you know, 3 games in hand, and 2 games to go for the league, so we had like 5 games to play. So, you know, they gave us schedule of playing Wednesday, Saturday.
Twice a week.
Twice a week. And we were not, you know, conditions to do that in our generation. Looking at the football in Zambia, you know, playing Wednesday, Saturday, it was too much. You know, we used to play Saturday or Sunday, Saturday or Sunday, and you know there is a gap there. So I think that's the things which was killing us when they say, oh, you were playing continental, you're gonna play Saturday, Sunday.
Was it a fitness issue or a psychological issue? Because you say that you were very, very fit.
No, we were very fit when we from the training. That is in 2001. We did the training, okay, and that's it. This one I'm talking about is 2002, when we participated in a CAF Confederation Cup, and we had some games to be played, and then they give us Wednesday, Saturday, you know, and then Zanaco was just resting. That time I remember Zanaco was just resting, you know, and then we're gonna play against
a fresher
opponent. Yes, and that's how we lose the slot to go to number 1 to win the league. I think we were number 2 in 2000. 2002 we were number 2. 2003 we were number 2. 2004 we were number 2. I left Green Buffaloes going to Jomo Cosmos when my former club, GBFC, was playing Continental under George Rwandamina.
Tell me something. That was a solid team, and it formed the backbone of the Zambia national team under 23.
Yeah.
Patrick Masosa,
we had Patrick,
Noah Mandela,
myself. We had Daddy Fichte going for the senior. We had Freddy Ngambela also being called to the senior. We had Mishe Klungu was also to the senior.
And captain at some point.
We had good.
What was the secret about that generation?
The secret is...
And they were all local players. It's easy now for these teams to say, no, we got to the group stage, but look at who they are playing with. They have bought players from outside the country, but yours was just purely Zambia.
Purely Zambians, and I think it's strange even for me to see when the teams playing continental, they are buying outside. GBFC was not even buying outside. Even today, they are relying on the local players. And still under Buton Musonda, we played continental on only the local players. So I think it's the players that you are bringing in to come and play for the particular team.
Tell me, are these foreign-based players that are coming to play in the Zambian league overrated? Are they really good enough from what you've seen? You've played with some of them.
The experience that I have when I was outside, what I can tell even to Zambian people or to the fans is that, or to the coaches, you have to bring a player who's going to be more different from the local player. You don't bring an equal average player. For example, I'm the coach. I bring the caliber of Collins in Besuma. Okay? I bring caliber of Collins in Besuma, and I have, for example, I have given Singuruma. Like, for example, Collins is a foreigner. This one, it makes yes,
sense.
Okay, yeah, Collins was scoring, yeah, okay, yeah, given also scoring. So the rate is a little bit different. But imagine I have Messi in the ground, and I bring Collins in Besum. You get the point. Messi is already there.
So why are we buying?
No, buying is not a
Are
problem.
we misusing money? When you look generally, is that
Yes.
people are getting excited. We've got money now, so we can buy foreigners.
Buying, you need to check. This caliber, I've got this caliber. As a coach, you need to know the caliber of the players that we have. Okay, I need a striker like Mbombo. I've got Fly the Sam. So if I can buy Mbombo, you know, it's making the difference. You see? But I've got Fly the Sam. Then I buy a low, below Fly the Sam. You know, just to give an example, because Green Buffalo is my team. Below Fly the Sam, it doesn't give any sense. You know, we buy Sam, we buy Martin from Zanaco. We see the quality is different. That's how even we have to do in buying the foreigners. Don't buy the foreigner just for the sake of is a foreigner.
Tell me something. What was the secret of those performances at Green Buffaloes? What was it about George Rwandamina for him to achieve the results he got, especially in Continental? You'd go there, get good results.
He's a good coach. He understands players. You know, he has been in football for so long. You know, George Rwandamina has been an assistant coach for over 15 years, maybe to Maite Mufria was maybe number 4th coach. He was a player, he was a 4th coach, he was a 3rd coach, he was 2nd coach, and he was being given an opportunity to be the first head coach maybe to Green Buffaloes. You know, and he knows when you talk about football, he knows the time of players to rest, he knows psychologically what the players want.
Back in the day, we're talking about George Rwandamina 20 years ago.
Yeah. You know, George Rwandamina is a coach who wants still to follow the philosophy of the football, the new generation of things which is happening. You know, as a coach, if you just behind with the knowledge which is coming now, you stay behind. But George Rwandamina was the coach who's learning more or less like Janza. You know, it's many coaches I can mention. You know, there is also the upcoming coaches. You know, they are following the new technology which is coming. And if you stay on what we are talking about, if Malubilo, you rely on the physical and, you know, players, they don't eat well, they eat carpenter, you are behind. Because you can condition players with what you have. Oh, bala diabuino player, tabale diabuino. But GBFC was looking after players very, very, very well. You choose where you want to stay. They will pay for you the house. Whatever you're lacking, they will bring food for you in the house. We were having everything that we want.
And it was George Rwandamina saying, I want these things for my players.
Yes.
I want this.
Yes. Even Peter Kaumba, it was the same.
So, looking at that, when you played Continental for the first time, international football, how was the test? Because you, Chris Katongo, seems to believe that this football is in levels and stages as you once shared a couple of years ago.
I played international football to under 23 while I was still playing Continental
for
Buffaloes. So I knew how it, you know, which level it is there. And
what's the biggest difference? Some kids are watching you right now and saying, Chris,
it's the international level and the local level is different. The way I can play with Zanaco, Green Buffaloes versus Zanaco, is not the way I'm going to play Green Buffaloes versus Cotton Sport or Green Buffaloes versus Sundowns. Because it's a different flair and it's a different culture. And it's an international game for sure. And it's been counted. So the more you are exposing to the international level is the more you are getting experience. Because as a local player, that's why we are saying local player. There is international player, there is local players, there is professional players. Yes, we have professional football.
Let me ask you this. So you went away from this country, went elsewhere. And you had been to many countries. But let me talk about your second stint. When you came back to play at Green Buffaloes, what were some of the things you were saying that were not quite the same 15 years before in your first stint? For example, at Green Buffalo.
When I came back, West University, I played last 1 year in West University in 2015, 2016. I came back, there was 12 games to play for Green Buffaloes plus the cup, the Barclays Cup. What I was saying things in doing the work on the pitch. They are seeing I need to show the difference from the European player and the local player. And I'll also tell them that the level, things when it's happening like this, we have to do like this. Just that the level was too far for me and for them. So the only language...
So for you to share your ideas.
The only idea was...
I'm sure some players... I think about Chris Navatampo Penanomba.
Yes, when you tell people which they can't understand, it's difficult. So the only language I was using is to do things on the pitch so that they see.
At a higher level, which did not apply to the
lower level
yes. Of football.
Yeah. So that's the only language I was using for them, for the players.
So,
and in 2002, I want to mention this because it's important for me. You know, when I was the top scorer for Green Buffaloes, I was promoted to be a Kopolo. Just to know that how my ranking was going. Because people know me, yes, I'm a soldier, warrant officer class 1. But I was promoted the Kopolo under Chisuzi, was a General Chisuzi. I was a top scorer. In 2003, I was voted the most determined player in GBFC.
2003?
2003. I was being given a sergeant.
Because of your determination?
Determination, yes. So this is where the Green Buffaloes or the soldiers or the generals who were there at that time, they see my determination. And that determination is the one which they see when we went to the Africa Cup. So it started a long time ago.
Okay. Now, you paint the picture for me. So, 2003, most determined player. And I used to tell
I've got
people,
a trophy in my house.
Oh, congratulations. I used to tell people that I believe Chris Katongo is not as talented footballing-wise as his brother Felix. But what I see in the man, he's got a heart of a lion.
Yeah.
I'm sure it would have been very easy to ignore you on the footballing tip. But yeah, that.
It's true.
Did that military training change you to make you more determined?
For sure. More disciplined, more determined. You know, as far as discipline is concerned, yes. Even at first I said I was not the greatest. Even today I'm not the greatest player ever Zambia has produced. You know, I know you start, why? You are a captain, what? I was not the greatest. But I think on that one, I can emphasize on that one. We had the greatest player ever Zambia has produced. And those are the ones that maybe could have won the Africa Cup, could have gone to the Africa Cup. The Zambia who perished, those greatest players. I don't need to start mentioning. There was great players. But now, look at me. I was not the greatest players that Zambia ever have produced. And then maybe God said, listen, my children, you know, I've suffered a lot. I'm going to appoint you to go and redeem the Zambian, you know, the tears. You know, they never have a trophy, but players have played Belgium, Jedem, everywhere. Players were all over. Skillful is too much. The Yukas of this generation. But maybe God said, you know, let me just appoint this one. He's not the greatest. So every time when I'm sleepy, I smile. Why God? I thank you. Because there was greatest people. You know, Kalusha, how they wanted it. More, how they wanted just to lift that one. And then me just coming from Florida to come and redeem Zambia. I thank God for that. So, the on your question, Namanji, the only difference is that I had great players of that Fichte. You can use
around
both legs.
you, yeah.
Around me, there was Felix, Dadri Fichte, to mention a few. There was great players. You talk about Emmanuel Zulu that time. There was then Sofas. I'm just talking of in general, you know. But why me? It's just a thinner layer.
So tell me something. If you got Zita Tembo and took him for military training, would I come out more determined or?
I don't know. It's up to you. But the mind will be changed.
But do you see other soldiers is it just natural that when you become a soldier, you become...
We change. You know, when you go to the training, the civilian mentality has to come out. That's why they go for the training, is to bring out the civilian mentality. The kamafia, kafumamo, yumo. So kubika mo, kukina kama determination, but kubika mo, they will train you everything.
But determination.
Because they knew everything that I want to do. You see, even I was playing, everything that I wanted to do, it has to be successful. When I'm looking at the videos myself, I sit down, I look. Yes, I was the most determined player. Because everything that I wanted to do in the pitch, I wanted to be successful.
Tell me something. Your brother.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to tell you, point blank. Let's not gossip.
I'm not even...
Your brother Felix was a better footballer than you.
Yes.
More talented.
That one straightforward.
If he faces a defender, he skins him to death.
Yes.
Chris Katongo will just be at the back of cross, boom, go.
Yeah.
Go.
That's the only difference. That's the only difference in the ground.
What was the difference between your footballing upbringing, between you and your brother?
I think
you look different even on the pitch.
I was more disciplined. I know how I wanted to handle myself outside people. And that's the things which makes me who I am. And that's the thing which was different. Because most of the time I was taking my brother, I remember to the under-23 he find me. He put me on the bench, South Africa versus Zambia.
First time?
First time I was sitting on the bench. I remember Collins also was being called first time after being dropped for several times by Peter Kaumba. He scored the only goal before we go and face Ghana when we lose. I was on the bench.
Tell me the truth.
That is the truth. I went in.
Tell me the truth. Were you scared when you saw people like Collins Mbesuma coming to the team, Felix Katongo? Okay, but today, to my guys.
Oh, no, they were very good players. I remember Collins to Ron United. Then Power wanted David to take him. He was scoring after being moved from left back.
Were you scared that what
No, I was not.
Guys? Did
No, they were young. I will see them. I see them as they are still young.
Because you and your brother could play same position.
Yes, that's a problem. So one has to start.
So when you're on the bench, what were you thinking?
There's nothing to think, just to see what my brother is doing. I remember my brother was coming from under-20 in South Africa. He was the top scorer. He was the most determined player. You know, he was dribbling like no man's land. And then Peter Kaumba called him, and he was playing the same number. And I was on the bench. It's okay. I accepted that.
What did Felix say to you? What kind of conversation you said?
We just talked.
Ninjisa.
Nalisa mumundemona fenje nawe nga wamba chapu kubomba fi nga nebo naamba kubomba fi pati ineka irindi kona bwino tinaamba kuteya kona imbi position. So when we went to Ghana,
that's what you used to tell me.
Yeah. So when we went to Ghana, I played as a second striker. You see?
A couple of years ago, and that's before we bring in Jomo Cosmos. You told me if we're a utility player, which position didn't you play growing up?
I was that time they were saying number 7.
Apart from goal.
Yes, I was a goalkeeper for under 14 also. I played as a goalkeeper.
I give up.
That story behind the story.
I
played as a goalkeeper. When my under 16, I'll play as number 7. That was my best position because of the speed. But when I started to growing up, under 19, I remember Kashimoto took me to under 16 to Mighty Mufuria Wanderers. He jumped me from under 16 to under 20 because I was doing good things at under 16. So it was not my level. He jumped me to put me in under 20. I remember he selected me. We went to Kabwe to play under 20 Mighty Mufuria Wanderers versus Kabwe Warriors under 20 that time. and then the game was cancelled, you know, and those times it was like curtain lasers, under 20 you play before the senior plays, which was fantastic. And that's the moment, you know, things start to change.
So you grew up just playing?
I just grew up playing football.
Football, not a position.
Not when I was playing number 7. That time they say number 7, or right wing. Now today is a right midfield or left midfield. You know,
yeah.
Everybody is an attack. Everybody has to defend. You know, the nature is changing, like we said. So if a coach stayed in the old days, but defender ta attacker, you know, instead defender alaya na kuntansha English abwera no kubwe. So I was scoring when I was playing to number 7 that time, or right wing. I will find myself in the box scoring, but I was number 7, providing the crosses and scoring. So the coach changed me from that position. They say he's scoring, he can play as a striker. So I started playing as a striker in the amateur.
9 or 10?
10.
Second strike?
No, not second strike.
10.
9.
Twin strike?
Yes, twin strike. So I was scoring. That's where Lupia, I think, saw me as a striker. They wanted the striker to Karush Modern Stars, and I was scoring. So when I went as a striker, I find there was 2 strikers there, but it doesn't matter for me.
You bring me to an important question. Did you need to learn how to jump? It's because
I was.
Oh God! Your height. I'm taller than you, by the way. But I don't know if I would have wanted to fight for the ball in the air with you.
It's a timing. You can be taller than me, but I can jump more than you before the ball comes.
Because is it a coached thing, or kuifunda we mwini?
I think it's not a funda fene mwine, because tapari wa ishire mkunjeba for most of the things. But I remember the late Leo Chungu when he was playing me as a striker, because I even refused because I wanted more of freedom to get the ball. You know what I mean? I don't want, you know, more of contact of the players, because when you are playing as a striker, you'll be more of contact. So I wanted more freedom. But when I was in the box, he would tell me just timing. When you see the ball is coming, just know where the ball is gonna, and then you move.
Time your jump.
Time your jump. That's the most important thing. Just time your jump. As the ball is coming, you can jump to the taller person and you score the goal.
Tell me something. So, time for you to leave GBFC came and go to South Africa and do work with Jomo Sono. How did the move happen? Because that was like your ultimate dream, to leave the borders of this country to go and play football.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
How did you meet Jomo Sono?
Jomo is sent some people. I remember we went to play Power Dynamos in Kitwe, and he sent somebody to watch over me and to get a number so that he can call me direct. We beat Power 2-1. And in the bus, I received a call. We were going home, which is home from Kitwe. We are coming to Lusaka. Then he spoke to me on the phone. This is Jomo, blah, 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 blah.
Did you know the man before?
I didn't know the man. He just said, "Meet Jomo. I have a team here in South Africa. I want you to come and play for me." I said, okay. I'll send you a ticket on Tuesday. And that was Sunday. We play Saturday, Sunday in the bus. I'll send you the flight on Tuesday. So what's your details? You just tell me. Somebody's gonna call you to give you, to let your details of the passport and what. On Monday it's gonna call you. Oh, okay. I just forget. Tuesday the phone call comes. I went, took my passport, go to cafe. You know,
internet cafe at the time.
There's this technology. You can have your passport in the phone. You send. You know, that's why I said the technology is changing.
Yeah.
So I went to cafe. I say, scan for me this and send it to this address. I give the website for Jomo. He send it. And then the week passed. Monday he make a ticket. I fly. Without even...
Was it easy for the soldiers to let you go?
It was not easy.
Tell me about it.
I supposed to go to Dynamos, South Africa Dynamos, where that Cabo Warriors player, I forget his name. We were playing together to the under 23. No Wachivuta.
No, yeah.
He was playing there. He went just as a young, even he was the only professional player we called to come and play all Africa games or under 23. I remember that time. They wanted me, they processed everything, they came to the hotel. GBFC was refusing. I need this player. And you know, George Rwandamina also wanted me, and I was the scoring, I was playing every game. So they refused. So I knew that if I tell them, they will refuse. So I just tell Jomo that, listen, I'll just sneak. Then you start talking to them. And which is the
so the soldier I knew who was not scared of the soldiers that trained
you know, being a soldier, too much discipline also is indiscipline. That's how I've been taught. So I did my indiscipline thing, but it makes sense for everybody.
So you went?
I went
without permission?
Without permission. And it's a serious offense. So I went there, Jomo called them, the player is here, we need to start negotiating. They start negotiating. No,
did anybody call you to say military?
No
phone
one,
call?
No one called me. Yeah, no one called me. After they finalized everything, then I explained to Jomo, I said, now listen, I need to go back and clarify everything because I'm a soldier. I need to go and paid leave. What I explained to him. Then after 2 weeks, I came back with my contract, where I signed. I processed all the things that needed to be processed. I was being given to go on unpaid leave.
Sure. So you didn't go to the guard room for?
No, I didn't go to the guard room because the negotiation went well. There was money on the table.
Good money.
Player. Yeah, good money. So everybody is smiling. So why they take you to the guard room? I think that time I was a sergeant. I was being promoted by Chisuzi also 2 times. By
yeah,
Chisuzi, General Chisuzi, sergeant. Then I was promoted as a staff sergeant by Chisuzi also. Then I was promoted by the former president Lupia Banda when we went into the next round in Africa Cup.
2010.
2010.
But I want to ask you about one of your promotions. When you were called the Tsunami, went into Cape Town. I'm a Zambian supporter, but I'll be honest, I didn't.
That is the rank they give me as a staff sergeant. I came back. That is 2007. I scored 3 goals in 20 minutes.
How was that game? What was the secret behind that game? Because we expected Mbesuma to be the guy who was going to shine once more.
Yeah, that time, yeah.
But here comes Christopher Katongo from the hat-trick.
I'm telling you. I think what happens was we played South Africa at Independence Stadium, and most of the games I was the captain. And I remember Chone came to the national team, you know.
And he's a senior player.
Yeah, and a senior player. For sure, you need to hand over the handband and stuff like that. And South Africa beat us 1-0 at Independence Stadium. And South Africa almost booked Africa Cup of Nations to go in 2008. And you know, that time Patrick Piri was being even said, we will be fired manja. Because you remember Patrick was being fired 2004. He refused the team not to go.
Yes.
He was being fired. Then Kalusha bring him back. So he said, if you do Nakabidi just second, you will be fired manja. You don't come back.
Yeah. If we don't go to the Africa Cup 2008.
Yes. And in that game, we need to score more than 2 goals. Because if we beat South Africa, we're gonna have equal points,
but
maybe go aggregate.
Yeah, go aggregate was
so, which means we need to score more than 2 goals, and I scored 3. That's how Patrick Piri. You see how he was celebrating in that one. I think that game was
was that the game that made Chris Katongo?
It's a powerful game, that one. I don't think that one the game made me who I am, because people.
Was it your best game?
No. There's a lot of best game that I've played. Yes, for sure, it's the best game, 3 goals, because today we have a history. It's only the Kalusha who has scored 3 goals, myself and Collins, on the national level. If you Google, we are the only ones who has a player to score 3 goals in this generation. We don't know if for the Godfrey Yuka those times.
Oh no,
we don't know.
No,
I'm just talking about
107. Yeah, this Yeah,
This
yeah.
Kama generation, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Maybe there is history there, but what I know is the hat-trick players who have scored for the country is Kalusha, myself, and Collins. You know, and that's the game which makes so special, like you are saying.
And you played wide right. You didn't even play. You played wide.
No, I was the second striker. To
Second
Collins.
to Collins.
Yes, there was the right side was Ian Bakala.
Ian, yes.
The left side was Jacob Omlenga.
Jacob
Then Isaac on the middle
with Sinkala.
with Sinkala. You see. Then there's Achilensa to the right. Billy Mwanza with Ketani 4-5, and then there is Joseph Musonda as a right back. And that was the Ketani, I think that's the last game.
Did it help? Because at the time, Collins Mason was getting too much attention, so they all went to say the dangerous player is Collins. Mark Collins.
Yes, for sure. At that time, you know, Collins has scored 2 Chiefs, 35 games, and he left. I think he was playing in England, maybe that time,
yeah.
Portsmouth that time. Yeah, maybe there was connection, but looking at how I was scoring goals and I was, you know, going into attack, how I wanted to place the people, because the first goal I just went myself, placing a player, he make a mistake, I dribble Loin Fernandez. That's the first goal. The second goal, I went still to place, and then the ball was loose. Isaac Chancer took it to the left side. I was in the box. I finished. You know, there was a foul there to the Ian Bakala, the other side. Ian Bakala, intercepted the pass in the middle. Cross, I was in the box. So it can be they were marking Collins, but I don't think it was more like that until second half. Then they settled, but that's the best game.
And so the South Africans got to know the name Christopher Katongo very well. Painfully so.
No, in South Africa they knew me very well before
before that game.
Before that game, because they are the ones they nicknamed me Tsunami. It's the fans of South Africa. My fans for Jomo and the fans of maybe Chiefs or Pirates. Because when we play Pirates, the other fans for Chiefs, they will support us to beat Pirates.
To beat Pirates.
When we are playing Chiefs, the other supporter for Chiefs, they want us to beat Chiefs. You know these teams.
Yeah, the rivalry.
So I scored all the big teams in South Africa, and I was scoring. I win the Coca-Cola. Even you see my ring. This is the ring for Coca-Cola. So they knew what I can do, but they didn't know what I can do on the international level. And that's the time when I did that one. That's when now they say,
hey, life change.
This is fire.
Tell me something. So you go to Jomo Cosmos. You left in the middle of the season, but still managed to win the Golden Boot.
Yeah.
Were you surprised when you left Jomo Cosmos? Were you saying, I'm waiting for a Golden Boot? I'm waiting.
When we talk with Jomo on the phone, when I just signed the contract to Bromby, we were talking on the phone with Jomo. And then he told me, son, you see, son, you come and get the trophy here. I said, what, coach? You come and take the trophy. No one who's going to surpass you, the goals, 15 goals. You come and take the trophy. I said, oh, I'll come, yeah. I left one who was 6 goals behind, I was 15. He was 9 goals. I left him. They played 15 games, not even reaching. I came back, I lifted the trophy.
Tell me something. So it doesn't make sense, and there's a modern day argument, and I want to get your take on it, because you've played at various stages in our league and probably at the national team. You talk about goal scoring. I want to ask this: what is the problem with strikers in Zambia, maybe in our league, getting 20+ goals in a season? What is your own personal opinion about that?
They don't want to learn.
The strikers?
The strikers, they think they know. In football, you don't think you know. Until you know that you know when you retire. That's what we know. Like myself, I can say that I was scoring. I can talk about it. You know what I mean? But the strikers for now, they don't want to learn while they are still in the pitch. They think they know. They think they have reached. That's why even into a national level,
They don't listen to their coaches.
They don't listen to their coaches. That's the only problem. Because there's some basic things that I don't need to start coaching a striker. I need to concentrate on my tactical things, not the basic thing of going near post, going far post. That's the only problem. These are basic things, going far post, near post. You know, anticipation.
Why aren't we firing these players?
It's up to the coach. Maybe they are contributing.
No, I'm saying, why shouldn't they be fired? Does it make sense when you sleep at home and sometimes you even shake? I'm sure your wife asks you, hey, what's going on? So, yeah, I'm thinking about Zambian strikers.
You know, when I was a coach for Green Buffaloes, you know, my wife would ask me, you don't teach them what you were doing. I said, Mama, I did. I'm done my part. I've been doing that thing. It's just that sometimes...
So is it hard for them to understand or they don't listen? Because they've got an attitude problem.
Because of the background and the attitude. Because of the background. You know, the background is killing us too much in such a way that people, they never learn the basic things when they were young. When we were growing up learning the basic things.
So who told you near post, far post?
It's the basic things when I was young. You know, when the boys coming near post, far post, you are under 14, under 16. Those are the basic things. When you are growing up, there's no way a coach starts shouting on the bench, near post,
near post.
It doesn't make any sense. He needs to shout to you. Position yourself.
If you had the power, you'd fire a lot of strikers.
I would take them out because I don't need to start teaching them basic things. If you say you are a striker, there is the basic things, which maybe I can just make sure you train. You see even now.
But don't complain. I'll tell you this. I speak to them. They'll tell me, Tate, no supply. There's no supply, Chris Katongo. There is no supply.
He's giving now the excuse. That's why I told you that's an attitude problem. You don't give an excuse. Go near post, whether the ball is coming or not.
You at Green Buffaloes, let me give you an example. Without No Mandela, without Dudley Fichite, without the bulldozing presence of Jimmy Mumba and all those guys.
Those guys, yeah.
Are you sure? Or Patrick Masosa on the left bringing in cross. Are you sure Chris Katongo would have even gone near post? To go and do what?
Yeah, listen, what I know what you mean, because I've got my suppliers who's going to cross.
Yes, you have proper suppliers.
But it doesn't necessarily has to be like that. On the tactical perspective, when you are just moving, a defender is moving, another one is going to occupy that space. So it doesn't matter, the cross is going to come, you need to go in the box, near post or far post. That's a basic thing. It should be a natural. If somebody is giving an excuse that, coach, tabalevika macross, that is the attitude. He doesn't need to use, he has to use the basic things. But when you
make the run, whether the
cross, make the line, whether the cross is coming or not, it doesn't make the run. If the ball doesn't come, it's fine. But you have destabilized the defense. That is the main instance. Because the defense.
So your experience was, you are telling them, and you are telling me when you came back to GBFC as a player now, you're playing, you're trying to tell them, guys, football, they are ladders. Then I'm sure they're looking at you. Now this thing won't apply when we're going to play in Kwazi Nakambala or Power Dynamos on Can.
Yeah, for sure. It's different because you play in Kana, more using of the brain more. You're playing a team which is in Division 1. It's more physicality. You need to weigh. And I remember one day I was on the bench. Bilton Musonda was my coach. We played the Konkola in Changa Rangers at Independence Stadium. I was on the bench. Players for today, they will sit just on the bench just to sit and drink water. He's not analyzing what is happening. In his position, he needs to start realizing, okay, if they move him, what are the things that he's doing I can go and do? That's how a player should be. Me, I remember one day, you can ask Bilton Musonda, if he's going to watch this one, he's going to even smile and say, yes, it's true, Chris. I was on the bench. We had Malan Gondwe, Stephen Kabamba, making some crosses. And one of my strikers, I don't want to mention, he was not making those runs. I went to my coach. I said, coach, if you put me, these people must not stop crossing. I need those crosses. If you put
the same ones.
Yes, the same ones. And Coach Bida, see, it's true that the striker is not making the runs to score those goals. I went in, the first cross from Malan, boom, go. Second from Steven Kabamba, boom, go. Started leading 2-0. Second, we make a penalty. So these are the things that I'm trying to say on the question on these players. If he's giving you an excuse, that is running away from the truth and he doesn't want to learn because he wants to save himself. As a player, you don't quarrel when somebody said you have to run on the near post. He said no, but coach, Tahelesa Macross. Then he doesn't want to learn and he's gonna stay on that level because he doesn't want to learn.
So when that happened, could you tell now the younger players are now looking at you different? You
know, when I'm just inside the pitch, I'll bring the enthusiasm. You know, I remember back race. I told the guys, we are reaching in the.
Oh, you won the back race.
Yes,
congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much. I was telling them, listen, if you know, it was like I'm joking. You know, let's each combe to the same date. And I was talking to Coach Bide. Coach Bide today image combe. We reach in the final. We play in Kwazi. But Coach today image combe. We beat in Kwazi. 2-0, we lifted back race cup. Say, you know, I was just joking, but I was giving sense to them like, listen, oh, this one has achieved. Yes, he has achieved something. So you give that mindset. We are winning. In fact, January, today we. You know, there was a time also when I was playing, I said, I was young. Because I know what Gibby can do when he's inside the pitch. You get the point. Even to under senior level, when I was to the national team, I'm young. Hey, but you know that thing. I think game of I think we could have win. You get the point. So even if you go in to play with them, now we should have a game of you get the point. But game of feel like he's home. Oh, the chitana party, I'm off the zone. You know, you
feel comfortable.
You feel comfortable. So I was trying also to tell the GBF player, don't worry, I'm not too simple. We're not sakamano, too simple. You know.
Tell me something. Tell me about your stay in Denmark. I'm told that in Europe the camping rules are totally different from what we have here, where if you are playing
you sleep on the hotel,
sleep at the team hotel,
camp, what. It's different. Yes, it's true, and it's professionalism. We don't know professionalism because as a player, the professionalism starts from yourself. In Denmark, there's no way to go to camp. You just come. If you have a wife, you have a girlfriend, just nice, good night. 15 hours, there is a game. There is nothing of no, don't touch the lady, don't touch what is not there.
Okay, so
you don't camp.
Okay, let me ask.
In short, there is no camping.
So, would players play better if they had sex before the day of the match?
That one I don't know. But for me,
or if they were allowed to, because I'm told here.
No, overdoing it is a problem. You know, the only problem is to overdo things. And that becomes a problem. Even in Shima, when you eat too much, you're going to have some stomach. You know what I mean? You don't overdo things.
So what is the rule? Let me get to it. You shouldn't have too much sex before the match.
It's up to you.
No, I'm asking you.
No,
Yes.
Don't overdo it.
Don't overdo it.
It's okay.
Okay, we'll ask Washim Kombe to explain what overdoing.
Yes, overdoing it I don't know, but basically,
but you can.
Yes, it's allowed. I never said, coach, you know, to the ground when I was in Denmark, you're not playing well. You know, even me, I remember the first time I went to Denmark, the first thing that they asked me, you have a wife or you have a girlfriend? I have a fiancé. Your fiancé has to come quickly. They send quickly because your partner is part of your football. That's how they take those things. You see England, they take their wives to go and play World Cup. So you don't think that they were not doing it? Just an example.
No, they are supposed to go into camp. They are supposed to be, the wives to the footballers need to be nearby.
I can tell you behind the story. Maybe the Zambians, they don't know. When I was playing in Denmark, we go for pre-season, we carry our wives and one kid, if you have a kid. That time I had one kid. We carry our wives to the pre-season. We stay with our wives. We are pre-season. This is pre-season, which in Zambia it can't happen.
Listen, okay, you
This is
should be
story
a
behind the story.
Shimukombe. You should be a Shimukombe, but I want to know this. So, what role does the wife play? For those people who just need to understand what's going on,
my success,
what can we learn?
My success, without my wife, I'm dead. Any success, any behind success of a man, there's a woman. And this is what the wives believe. They don't want you to start concentrating on many things of what. If you have a wife, it's part of your life, it's part of your football. So what they were doing is for us to go with the wives or the girlfriends. We were pre-season. We come back with them. After 1 week, then we go alone without the wives for 9 days. This is what was happening. This is my experience. So you know, in Africa, doing that, you know, majuju, that is the only difference.
So you grew up, and I'm sure you were shocked. So you grew up in Zambia believing,
yes, avoiding
no sex before the game.
Yes, avoiding those things. But one thing, what they don't like is drinking too much beer. Because beer, lung, heart, kidney, liver, these things need nutritious food for a sportsman to be successful. Yes, you can drink, but don't overdrink it. Like I said, overdoing it, that becomes a problem. Drinking is not a problem, but you can drink it do it.
Okay. So you actually sauntered. You also warned.
I know where you are going. You just want to know what is there. What is there? No.
Okay, listen. Listen. Sex before a game is good. Living Testament, Christopher Katongo went into Denmark and even won a trophy.
I'm explaining what was happening during my career.
So
my wife, she's my witness.
Wives are supposed to go for pre-season, says Christopher Katongo.
Yes.
It helps.
Who's going to have the financial muscle to do that? Who's going to have the financial muscle to take also the wives with the plane? We go to Spain. As we go to pre-season for Spain, while I was playing for Denmark, you go for 10 days, you come back with your wife.
But if you can afford to pay for her?
For sure. Yeah, but who's going to allow? They say, no, it's a training, we are loading. Yes, you are loading. It's just that we need more concentration of the players. But these other things, they are not too much harmful to the body. But the most thing harmful to the body is the alcohol.
Okay.
Because it's drained the energy.
Okay. Tell me about Germany. How different was it from Denmark? You also played there. I mean the benefit.
Yes, for sure, it was a high level of football. You know, I learned many things there in Germany. And I enjoyed playing in Germany. Despite that, I didn't score more goals. And I think I needed more to stay there because the level was a little bit higher compared to Denmark. You know, in Denmark, yes, I was the king. I was scoring and changing of weather, changing of tradition also. But I was settled. I was happy, and I tried my best.
Tell me, how did you survive without Kabwari Okokwe?
Kabwari?
Yeah.
I was Nalesenda Kabungai.
Teti Bombe.
Teti. You know, we are conditioned for Nshima. We are conditioned, the carpenters, the senses, the fisashis, the lepu, you know, just to mention to my tradition. We are conditions. And I remember Karusha Wada always used to take Nshima, the chef, Ariam Kusenda Mbaraki, I'm a chef. This is a true story. This is the only difference. Who are Teapo Bona, no Sha Teapo Bona. This is the only difference that we have. We can work.
So even when we are going abroad, Kabwari
Aresenda. Kalu, I remember every day when he was a coach, he was a president, he was to Aresendo Wari. Kapenta, Chisense. We are conditioned to eat this. You know football. Football, if you are not conditioned in doing things, that's why we go for pre-season, is to condition the players. so that they are conditioned in the level of fitness. Wamona inena liberisho kuli akabwali na saa mkuli license style game. You know that those things it makes a player not to perform
and underperform.
Yes, but if na beresha na stomach ya liberisha na la ya kuli fimbe fo nsha beresha na be pike fi batakwa tininkoko mumala fiakana. I remember when we went to Gambia. You know, people, we didn't know what type of meat. We asked, what is this? It's meat. I told everybody, this is not the normal meat that you know. Something. Maybe it's a ni cow, ni donkey. You know, I remember Kennedy when I was vomiting all day before the game. I told him, don't eat this meat. I know this is not just cow meat. So those are the things that players have to understand. So if you are conditions of doing something, you are conditions to be doing something. We are conditions to stay with our wives. We are conditioned, you know.
Tell me something. So you were part of the unsuccessful assault to try to qualify for the 2004 Africa Cup in Benin, and the excuse that you people brought back home that no Sepe. but I'll tell you that there was also one player from Benin that I was scared of during that game, Razako Motoyosi.
Yeah.
So I was listening on the radio saying, we are 1-0 down, 2-0 down.
Yeah, he scored 2
3-0.
Yeah. That experience was
what was the truth about that trip?
The truth about it was it was a hostel. No good hotel. They didn't give us good hotel. Okay. That time, I think those are the time that things started to change. You know, those times there was like, okay, when the host come, you give them a hotel. Now, when the host come, they pay for them hotel. Which level they want. They want Intercontinental, they want Holiday Inn, or they want a guest house. So it's changed. So when Benin was here, we beat them. We accommodate them. So we go in there, final game, they have to host us. It was terrible. They take us in the shanty compound, you know, and it was terrible.
But the soldier
no training ground.
The soldier in you should be stronger than that.
We stayed. So I was there.
What made us lose?
When we were in the tunnel,
was it the Sepe?
It's the Sepe. Because when we are when the national team is being sung, sorry Pando, the late may he sorry, rest in peace. They lock him in the dressing room. They lock him. He said, we don't allow Mwenye to come here. It's just juju thing. You know these things, what they believe. You know, Africans, we believe or whatever. They lock him. Then when you are coming from the tunnel to go to the stadium, there was players standing there. They were urinating, and then they are throwing sepe. Tana was going to shower while the national team is being sung.
After
I was on the bench. I was at the bench, me, myself, Dadri, Songwe Chalwe, I remember. Even Sashi was on the bench there, I remember. Sofa Kilambe started there. You know, and there were some beef up also for Sofa and and Sofa and the Kilambe because they were playing to Zanaco and they were top scorers that time. And, you know, there was
so they were competing, Sofa and Kilambe.
This one can't give a ball to this one to score.
That was the problem. Another problem.
Because I remember Sofa had so many chances the late, but he is also late, rest in peace. You can ask Kilambe on this one. He dribbled very good players. It's just to give, you know,
their friends.
Yes, just to give Kilambe to tap in. Side netting. That game we could still win despite hostility.
What did Patrick Perry see that? And what did he say?
He knew it.
He knew, but
we were young.
Why did
I think
we
can even see what is happening. But I was young. How would I go and started talking to the senior player like in Sofa, like Kilambe, guys? But you could have given yourself
to push it to win the ball.
I can't.
So we could have scored some goals.
We could have still scored some goals despite Sepe things, the juju thing of what they were doing. I think we could have scored some goals there.